For me, a borderless Africa will generally mean an opening to opportunities. Let us understand that, because borders have been used as a mechanisms to keep us entrapped.
The Borderless campaign is basically a campaign that is people-centered, that works towards achieving the ratification of the Free Movement Protocol of the African Union. We work across the continent with different communities and member states towards the ratification and eventually achieving a united Africa.
It means freedom of movement. It means us being in a position to participate in the economic right, let's say trade of goods and services within Africa, and it means us being united as an African continent.
Africa without its boundaries that were drawn in the Berlin Conference. And then what does that mean to the common man? For me, a borderless Africa will generally mean an opening to opportunities. Let us understand that, because borders have been used as a mechanisms to keep us entrapped.
Guided by the philosophy of Ubuntu and the oneness of us as Africans. Just to answer the question of painting Africa like a continent which is borderless is something that not only invokes my spirit of Africa, because I am a great believer that I am not an African because I was born in Africa, but I am an African because Africa was born in me. And going by the same spirit, I am of the view that having a borderless Africa is something which is so incremental, it is something so impactful, advantageous and meritorious in terms of our continent growing. Over time, our continent has been dubbed as a black continent, a continent that is never progressive, a continent that is never developing. So to me, I view it as a point, like if we come as one Africa, therefore, there is a high possibility that we are going to change the norm, there is a high possibility you are going to change the rule, there is a high possibility you are going to change the motto. Africa will now be considered as a continent that is developmental. In what context? Here we are, a lot of smartest brains that are operating in very big corporations in the outside world like Google, Twitter, Facebook, more of them are Africans. A lot of developments that are being made are as a result of the brains of Africa. But because of our boundaries, because of our disunity, we have come with one countryness, our individualism spirit. To an extent, we cannot absorb all these brains to be productive.
The vision that I have is us as women especially being able to be part and parcel of the African continent in exercising businesses, in us being influential in making decisions, in us being able to exercise the right cultures that promote women around African continent, and us not being discriminated in any basis, not us being, let's say, sexualized if we want to move from Kenya to Tanzania for the benefit of, let's say, carrying out businesses. As a lady, I feel it is an Africa where we as women are in a position of participating freely in each and every activity without restrictions in the African continent.
For me, I believe my dream when it comes to speaking about a borderless Africa is generally creating an empowered Africa. And the only way we are going to create an empowered Africa is by removing the number one factor that was put in place to ensure we remain entrapped: borders. Thus, by opening these opportunities to each other, we now ensure we have a general societal framework where we are going to ensure success for Africa as a whole and not just individual countries based on division.
So with Borderless Africa, we can achieve cultural integration. With Borderless Africa, our education can run systematically and the same qualities taught within that education system be absorbed within this continent. With Borderless Africa, we can make what we call regional trading. When we integrate all these regional trading blocks, we can bring something so massive. Imagine Africa where the diamond in Botswana is refined, processed within the fellow 54 African countries. Africa where the tea planted in Kericho, Kenya is exported to the fellow African countries. Africa where the uranium, the titanium that are being mined in DR Congo is made, processed, and then later sold from Africa. So we can also benefit from higher bargaining power if we have one Africa, borderless Africa, and I'm a strong believer of that.
I'm super excited for today's event because it's really provided us a space for us to reflect what does the Borderless Africa dream mean to us as African, and especially Kenyans, and just listening to the thoughts of the different people who participated in the event then gives me hope that we are certainly ready for a borderless Africa. What we need to probably work on is some of the challenges, which I will majorly say are teething problems. We've done quite a lot within the continent so far, from engaging on high-level conversations at the African Union with the regional economic blocs to majorly building the narrative and changing the perceptions of who a borderless African is with communities who also stays in the border. Through our Borderless Africa Students Clubs and Coalition, we're super excited about the outcomes, especially of this, because then it gives us the foundation for which we want to stand on as we go to Benin to have a similar forum in the coming months.